Hello and welcome to Sports Tonight. I'm Cecilia Omogbe in Lagos.
What a greetings to you wherever you are in the world watching us. In London, I'm Austin Okonakman. Cecilia, good to have you back on the show. Crucial week of football in Nigeria. Decisive week. This is the week that we give meaning to Nigeria's quest to qualify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Cecilia, are you ready?
I'm ready. Of course, we're waiting and hoping and praying, yes, all of them together to see if the Super Eagles of Nigeria can pick a ticket to the 2026 FIFA World Cup that will be hosted in the USA, Mexico, and of course, Canada. Yes, the Super Eagles, bottom of the group, they're yet to get the win. And this Friday, they will start their journey again to see if they can qualify. But one thing is sure, they are condemned to win that game, to stand a chance of picking a ticket for the FIFA World Cup in 2026. That's just next year here. Also on the program, we'll be talking about the NBA initiative, which has to do with girls. Leadership Series, Her Time to Play, made its debut in Africa. And of course, there's no better place to make the debut than in Lagos, Nigeria. At the weekend, we will be talking about that. We have different mentors from across the country, female leaders across the country, actually empowering young girls on their chosen career path and also having some skills in basketball. Yes, NBA Nigeria is doing a whole lot concerning the girl child and of course the boy child and of course basketball as a whole in Nigeria. Also on the program, the NPFL will get our attention on the show tonight. And Remo Stars 8 points clear at the top of the table, but Shooting Stars that were second for a very, very long time, you can't even see them anymore simply because they are winless in the last 7 games. 7 and counting. 4 draws and 3 losses. Not a good one for them. And Academy Wars, after more than 600 calendar days, right? They finally lost a game at home. And you know the team that did that to them. We will be talking about that team tonight on the show. Yes, it is loaded. NPFL, the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and of course, a little bit of basketball and leadership skills that our girls will need to learn to excel in the future. The media officer of the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be joining us on the show tonight. Of course, Austin, we will be starting up with the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Yes, all the players are in camp. We didn't have much of the trickling that usually happen. And of course, when the camp opened on Sunday, so arriving on Sunday night in Kigali, and just yesterday we have about 6 players, and today we have all the players in camp. So 22 Super Eagles. This is their first training session under the new coach, Eric Chelle. He, was in charge of this earlier today. Just this evening, the Super Eagles having their training session for the crucial game against Rwanda. Austin, this is what we need to, I don't know, what's the word?
I struggled just the way you did, when I was trying to see what I can put around this football match. It came to me like a movie. Is it going to be a thriller? Should it have suspense in it? Should it have a bit of action? Is there any need for any form of comic relief in this one? I said, no. Nobody is smiling for this one. This is a very, very big game, and we must approach it that way. Yes, I agree. It is crucial. I said it's a defining moment for football in Nigeria. How can you explain that Group C table where the Super Eagles, they sit second at the second to the bottom and have just 3 points from 4 matches, and the likes of Rwanda, South Africa, and Benin Republic, they have 7 points apiece. It's just so tough. Each time I look at that group, I'm like, when did all of this drama take place? What's happened? Is it that we didn't want to go to the World Cup? But it is what it is, and we're here now. First training session with the new manager, Eric Chelle. He knows the mission. He understands the assignment. He said he has promised a lot of things. He has promised us attacking football. He has said that he wants to take Nigeria to the pinnacle of world football, to restore our glory, our respect. And all of that will start with this game against the Amavubis of Rwanda. Before someone shouts, I say, oh, Austin, don't be afraid. Hey, let me remind you that in November, Nigeria couldn't beat Rwanda in Uyo. Someone will say we had already qualified for the AFCON and we're complacent and all of that. You're as good as your last game. And that's what Rwanda will look at. But Cecilia, let's bring in someone who will add some more perspective into everything that we're talking about while we wait for the media officer of Super Eagles. Our football data analyst, Shola Edegbele, joins me right here in London. Shola, good to have you on Sports Tonight. It's been a while.
Hi there, Austin. Thank you very much for having me on the show. I'm very glad to be back.
And I love it each time you rep the show and you rep Nigeria with your Super Eagles outfit. What's your confidence level for this game against the Amafubis of Rwanda?
I expect Nigeria to win this game because if we don't, there will be no World Cup next year. So this is make or break for Nigerian football. It's a very, 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 very important game. You know, we didn't go to Qatar. So the thought of not going to America next year is mad. It's crazy.
I know that feeling. Right, yeah. When I got to Doha, I was like, hey, what am I doing here? No Nigeria. You know, it felt different, and I don't want us to go through that again. But Shola, with everything you've seen, the body language of the new manager, Eric Chelle, the players invited, the 4 new players invited into the team. Are you confident? Does he have the right tools to execute this mission?
I mean, Eric Chelle did very well with Mali in the last AFCON. They played very aggressive, attacking football, which is what Nigerians want. The squad that he has selected on paper is very, very strong. You know, in the previous World Cup qualifiers, Osimhen wasn't present. So just having him back and on the back of the hat-trick that he scored for Galatasaray on the weekend, I'm feeling positive. I expect us to get the result, but I don't expect it to be easy because Rwanda are top of the table. So I expect them to be very, very aggressive and put up a big fight. But we have to win this game, and I'm sure the boys will do it.
Talking about we have to win this game. Now, we've got the players to actually do that. Let's take a look at the list of players that will be in this game. When you see the big names, you understand that if the Super Eagles of Nigeria don't win this game, it simply means we are not good enough and we don't have the right to actually go to the World Cup. Let's take a look at the names quickly on the show tonight. Now, you have the 2026 World Cup qualifier. Super Eagles players in camp ahead of the Rwanda game. Now, these are the big names: Amos Obasoke, Tolu Arokodare, Kayode Bankole, Victor Osimhen, Bruno Oyemachi, Papa Daniel, Simon Moses, Victor Boniface, Rafael Oyendika, you have Jordan Turun Riga, Stanley Nwambali, Samuel Chukwueze, Bright Osai, Igo Ogbu, William Trust Ekong, Wilfred Ndidi, Calvin Bassin, and Ademola Lookman. Now, these are the top players that are in camp. Now, for you, these players, we know they have every right. They can definitely win this game. But you still have the others. Alex Wobi is there, Joe Aribo also, Olaina, and of course, Sadiq Umar. These players, I mean, when you look at the squad, and you're saying it will be difficult to beat Rwanda, doesn't mean big names don't play football anymore. You just mentioned Victor Osimhen scoring a hat-trick Galatasaray weekend. We know Ademola Lookman has been on fire for Atalanta. That's why a little bit of here and there that has been going on. And we know these players, Moses Simon, of course. You want to talk about Rafael, you want to talk about Bruno Oyemachi. These are stars. I mean, Leicester may not be doing so well, but we watch the week in, week out, the way he's literally carrying Leicester City on his shoulders. So these players that we are seeing, Calvin Bassey, of course, we've seen what he's also doing for his team, Fulham, there. I mean, these players, we shouldn't be thinking it will be difficult for stars like this to beat Rwanda.
No, I expect Rwanda to put up a very, very, very big challenge. And football matches are not won by big names. It's about which team wants it more, which team will put in more effort. And I've heard that the coach has told the boys that he expects 100% effort. He expects everybody to fight together on this pitch. And so that's very, very refreshing because in previous years, you know, when we didn't qualify for Qatar and we played Ghana in that knockout, a lot of fans were upset that the Nigerian players didn't try hard enough. So it's nice to hear a coach saying, listen, if I call you up, you have to perform and you have to try it. But the most important thing here is we can't just say because we have big names, we expect to win. No, I think the team has to fight for one another, and everybody has to try. Without that, we won't be going anywhere. So it's not just names alone.
Yeah. Okay, go on. Yeah. Okay, let's get you confirmation of what we'll be expecting on Friday, the time of the game, the venue of the match, and of course, we know a Super Eagles of Nigeria and Rwanda. But it's an away game, and of course, the venue is the Stade Amahoro Stadium right there in Kigali. It's going to be 5 p.m. and this game is on Friday. Austin was talking about the position of the Super Eagles on the league table. Let's just take a look at that for you to see how crucial it is for the Super Eagles of Nigeria to win this game and, of course, move back from where they were. Now, after 4 matches, they are on 3 points, which simply means how many games won? None. How many draw? 3. Lost? 1. And of course, goal difference of 1. We're talking about the Super Eagles of Nigeria here, who finished second in the last Nations Cup. And Rwanda, the team they are meeting, are on 7 points after 4 matches because they've won 2 games, they've drawn 1, they've lost 1, a goal difference of 2. This is what is like Zimbabwe. You know, they are at the bottom of the group, and Zimbabwe, that's the team Nigeria will be facing next. So it's easy. The calculation is not so difficult, so you don't need much of it, simply because Nigeria wins this game, they are on 6 points, while also praying that these 3 teams that are above them will lose their games to move forward. And if they beat Zimbabwe, that definitely they will be on 9 points, while also praying that these teams won't win. And of course, when that happens, it simply means they will get the tickets to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. So, Austin?
I know, Cecilia, I said it before. I looked at this table, and at the moment, it's pretty tight because we are not just bothered about Rwanda alone. We also need to consider South Africa and Benin Republic. But you know what? The only way out of this is to ignore all of them and just focus on our games. We need to win the 6 remaining games. And after that, we can do the analysis. Because if we beat Rwanda and say, oh, South Africa won their game, Benin Republic won their game, those things are distraction. You still have Zimbabwe. Beat Rwanda, beat Zimbabwe. Keep 6 points down. Plus the 3 that you already have, that's 9. And wait for the other ones. Win, they just need to win all their 6 matches, and that can make a difference. Let me see if the media officer of the Super Eagles agrees with me. Promise Ofoge joins us live on the program from Kigali. Good evening, Promise. Welcome to Sports Tonight.
Austin, good evening. Thank you for having me on your show this lovely Tuesday night. I completely agree with you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go on, Promise.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you, and that is the mindset here in camp. I just left a meeting where Coach Eric Chelle met with the players and the backroom staff, and what you just said now was one of the things he said. He told the players to focus and concentrate on the task at hand. As far as Shell is concerned, it is taking one game at a time. He explained his vision to the team. He explained his mission to Nigeria. He explained his objective. And his objective, according to him, is to win every game. He said his vision is to win the AFCON in Morocco. His vision is to qualify Nigeria for the World Cup. His vision is to someday win the World Cup as well. I mean, this explains a man who has got tall ambitions, and he's quite determined to really achieve some of his objectives as coach of Nigeria. And one thing which is very, very important to note here is the fact that the Nigerian players understand the fact that they have their backs against the wall. And if you look back in time, the Nigerian national team does a lot better when they have their backs against the wall. You know, when the chips are down, that's when the Super Eagles want to fly even higher. You know, and the good news here is that the difference between the team at the top and where the Eagles are is 4 points. Some persons say just 4 points. 4 points in football is not just. But again, you take a look at the fact that we still have 6 games to play. And like you mentioned earlier, we want to win every game as it comes. And if that happens, whether the Republic draw their game, whether South Africa beat whoever, as long as we concentrate, win every game as they come, then we can be one of those teams that will be welcomed at the tournament in 2026.
Totally agree with you. That's the mindset. I promise, give us an update. I know we're expecting Alassane Yusuf is in camp now. What's the mood like?
Alhassan Yusuf is not in camp yet. He's still been expected. I'm yet to get full briefs on why the delay is extending longer than necessary. This was one of the things that the coach talked about earlier tonight. He told the players he will not. He clearly underlined that he will not tolerate late coming to camp when there is a national assignment. He emphasized on it. He also read out some of his camp rules, the do's and don'ts for both the players and the officials. I mean, it just gives that inkling that the French Malian understands the game and understands what it is to operate at this level. Alhassan is yet to be here, but Coach Eric Chelle has the complement of 22 players. And we expect Alhassan to join the team, but at the moment, that's not the focus. 22 players are in camp. That game can be prosecuted with 22 players that are available. He's got choices in every department, from the goalkeeping to the defenders, to the midfield, to the attack. I mean, I was speaking to Shell this afternoon after lunch, and I said, Coach, you seem to be spoiled for choice in every department. He smiled and he said he considers himself a lucky man to be coach of a team like the Super Eagles of Nigeria that is blessed with so much talent. Austin.
Cecilia.
What's the reception like for the Eagles, landing in Kigali in Rwanda? What's it like, the people around? Is there this welcoming atmosphere or there's hostility everywhere?
Well, Rwanda is a tourist destination in Africa, and we were here last year when we came to play the AFCON qualifiers. The reception was warm. It has not changed. Okay. The Rwandans are very, very, brilliant and welcoming people. Yes, on match day, the atmosphere is usually different on match day, and you can always understand that, Not to say, the last time we played Rwanda here in Kigali, even on match day, it wasn't really hostile. Okay. But you don't expect them to be smiling at you when you are playing against their national team. So it's all warm thus far, but we expect that on match day, that rivalry will be rekindled. Remember, they defeated us last outing in Uyo. Of course, that was just... that's a minor stuff. We had already qualified. However, it's on record that they defeated. So maybe they will get themselves as the big guns now, because in the last games against them, they picked 4 points off the Super Eagles of Nigeria. However, they still failed to qualify for the AFCON. So Nigerians should just believe in this team. Okay. As we do. The World Cup ticket is very possible, and that is what the players are gunning for.
Exactly. I was going to ask you about the players. What are they thinking? Because the coach has got the assurance that, yes, he want to win AFCON, he will qualify for the World Cup. The players themselves, do they share these ideas? Do they share, his optimism?
All right. I was looking at the team again, and I could barely highlight any of the players in the Eagles right now that had featured at any previous World Cup. These guys understand the importance of playing at the World Cup. They know it is opium. That's the highest level of football at any level. So missing out at the last World Cup in Qatar 2022 has been forgiven by Nigerians. Missing out 2026, I'm not sure Nigerians will forgive the Super Eagles. These boys know this. They know they are down, but they also know that they are not out. And they want to give this the very best shot with the support of government, with the support of the Football Federation, with the support of every Nigerian at home and in the diaspora. The players believe that they can get the job done. The AFCON ticket is already in the bag. They are chasing the World Cup ticket, and they know and they believe that it is possible. These players are smelling blood. Okay. You take a look at the group. These were countries that the Super Eagles toppled, to qualify for the AFCON. Same set of teams in the World Cup group. If they could do it at the AFCON qualifiers, top in the group, they can also do it as far as the World Cup qualifiers are concerned.
All right, hope they can actually do it. We're rooting for them come Friday for them to be able to start that journey again to get a ticket to the World Cup. Promise Afoge, thank you so much for finding time to join us tonight on the show. Wishing you guys all the best.
Thank you for having me, Cecilia. Thank you.
Rotimi Akindele is right here in the studio. Rotimi, it's been a while, right? It's been a minute.
Yeah, been a minute. Good evening. Good to be here. Good to be on the show. Quite an interesting talk. Austin, Promise Afoge. Everybody looks charged. Looks like only 2 players in this squad have featured at the World Cup. The captain, William Troost-Ekong, and Alex Iwobi. Every other player yet to feature at a major tournament like the World Cup. They lost the chance in 2022. I don't think they want to lose it in 2026. It hasn't started well, but we have a chance to fix it. And I'm quite optimistic, just like the coaches, just like Promises, just like the players are, that we'll get it. We'll get our campaign back on track with a win on Friday, and then win next Tuesday in New York.
Okay, yeah, simple. Just win your games and then the ticket is in the bag, right? Austin, Tolu has been talking. I mean, he's getting his first call-up to the national team.
Yeah, I like him because he's been doing so well with Genk right there in the Belgian Pro League. So let's see what he can do now that he has been given an opportunity. He's part of the, one of the 4 new players invited to the team. Let's listen to Tolu Arokodare, and I'll come back. Shala is still hanging around. He's just going to give us his reaction before we let him go.
First, I was surprised. I felt very honored to be mentioned amongst the was it 31? Yeah, I think 31 players. It was quite surprising. I mean, I knew it was coming because I've been doing pretty well, and I was hoping it would come, and it did come, and I felt like a winner already, even if I already had it at the back of my mind that even if I didn't get to make the final 23, that I've done something, I've achieved something. And being in the finals 23 also was, yeah, I just felt really blessed and I was very grateful. It means a lot. It's one of the best things that can happen to a football player, getting the opportunity to represent your country, to play. I mean, as a kid, you always watched the national legends play. You always wanted to play for your national team, and finally being in that position to be able to play for my country, it means a lot to me.
So that's it. New invitee to the Super Eagles, Tolu Arokodare, talking about how he got the call-up, how he reacted to it. Shala, that's another player that is in good form. I couldn't question his inclusion in the team. You think he can make a difference?
Yeah, I think calling him up was a great decision from the coach. He gives us another option. I still expect Victor Osimhen to start, but in a game like this where we need goals, it's good to have different options that can come off the bench and impact the game. So I look forward to see what he can do for the Super Eagles.
It's all about options, and when you take a look at the midfielders also, for instance, Nathan Teller was replaced with a defender. You see that actually there's so much options for Coach Chelle to play with. With that and what the media officer said, are you now convinced we have the balanced, complete squad to execute this mission on Friday?
Yes, on paper, we have enough firepower to get the goals. And the only thing I would say is that we only have 3 wingers in the squad. So Nigeria, we tend to lack wing play. So it'll be interesting to see how Chile sets up the team. With Mali, they played a 4-2-2 diamond. Historically, Nigeria doesn't play with that formation. So it'll be interesting to see whether he sticks to his principles or whether he plays the Nigerian way with wing play. So that's what I'm looking forward to seeing. One good thing that we...
Go on.
One good thing I would say, though, is that with the current situation that we face ourselves, I don't think Nigerians are too precious about the performance. We just want the result. So whether we play bad and win, I don't think people will complain. So I think that gives Eric grace to do what he wants to do as long as we get the 3 points. But I would like to see which formation he chooses.
Yeah, it just reminds me of Jose Pizarro. The football wasn't tidy, but we got to the final of the AFCON and he became the Messiah. Thank you so much, Shola Adegbele, for your time. We'll get you talking again right after the match. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, that's it. Football data analyst Shola speaking to us right here in London, United Kingdom. Rotimi, good to have you around. Rotimi, these are the times we didn't wish for because of our position on the World Cup qualifying table. What can we do? And the Super Eagles, I've called it the redemption journey to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. And they sing the redemption song.
Well, it's very possible, very, very possible. Like I said at the start, 4 games rather, 3 draws, 1 loss. And I mean, looking like it's all doomed, but it's not just all doomed just yet. We've got 6 games to salvage it. It's possible. So you look at the team. Personally, for me, I think the only headache for me in that group is South Africa. If we're able to get to South Africa and get a result, that would be good. But I think with the kind of quality we have,
Rwanda doesn't bother you. The way they played Nigeria in Uyo, it doesn't bother you.
I was in Uyo for that game. That was not an excuse, but it wasn't that sort of game where you want to, like we say in local parlance, die there. This one is different. This one is all about the World Cup. There's a lot of things, motivating you as an individual and then as a team in general. So there's a lot at stake in this one. It's not the AFCON. Before the game in Uyo, that we are qualified for the AFCON. This time around, there's a mission to qualify for the World Cup. So I feel the move, the mood, the mindset going into this game will be totally different. And that's why I feel we can get something on Friday. A win is what I'm looking forward to seeing. And then by the time they come to Uyo against Zimbabwe, let's do the job as well, get another 3 points. Then we can start planning what will happen in September when the World Cup qualifiers resume. But from what I can see, the 22 players should be able to do enough to get us all of this this good wish that we want, especially as it concerns the World Cup.
It's easy, as I said. Win your games and you have the tickets. All right, I think we'll have to rest the Super Eagles of Nigeria here because Thursday we still have so much time to talk about these crop of players and what all of them will bring to the table. The good news is we have all the players on ground. No excuses, right?
Alassane has been expected.
Alassane is not going to play. If he plays, I'll know that the coach, saying he will not accept indiscipline or whatever he's saying because the media officer did not give us a cogent reason why he's still not in camp. So it simply means let's leave him aside. We have 22 players in camp and that will be the focus, right? Okay.
Okay.
Why am I talking like the coach tonight?
So said assistant manager Cecilia.
Thank you, Austin, for putting that. She sounded like one.
Yeah, well, that would be cool. You have to instill discipline in the players. We keep saying players trickle in. Okay, I'm not going to go there. All right, we'll leave that. And NPFL, yes, I'm eager to talk about this one. Remo Stars are closer to that 60 points mark on 57 points after 27 games. If you look at the top 4 in the NPFL, you have 2 private clubs, privately owned clubs, one in Lagos, one in Ogun State, in the top 4. Interesting, right? But first, we're going to take a look at the result of matchday 29 of Nigeria Premier Football League. Starting off with the thriller. Sunshine Stars could not win at home against Plateau United. It ended 2-2. Right? Academy Warriors and Rivers United, yes, they were the one that ended that run, 687 days. The last time the loss was in April 30th. That was against Enyimba by a lone goal, 2023. That's the last time they lost at home. But this time Rivers United had done that to them. They lost 2-1 at home. Kano Pillars and Nasarawa United ended 1-0. Abia Warriors beating Bender Insurance by a lone goal. Aqua United, Sunshine Stars, 7 games, no win. We counted 8. Right, when they were on their winning streak. Right, but right now it's 7 and no win. All right, let's take a look at the other games that have been played on matchday 29 Nigeria Premier League. Bayelsa and Lobby Stars. Lobby Stars, what's going on? They lost to Bayelsa by a lone goal. Ikorodu City and Enyimba. Now, this was a thriller in Lagos on Sunday evening. And Remo Stars beating Heartland by 2-0. Rangers, of course, Flying Rangers beating Qualifier United by 3-0. Okay, quickly look at the table, right? Before we delve on that big game, which was Rivers, Enyimba, and Ikorodu City. Now, this is what it's like. Where is Shooting Stars? Can't find them anymore. You have Remo Stars on 57 points, closing in on that 60-point mark. Goal difference of 17. They've lost 8 and drawing 3, and 18 wins this season. That's huge. Followed by Rivers United, who are second, but they've had 13 wins this season on 49 points. So the difference is 8 points here. Rangers, of course, back into the top 4. For 29 games, 12 wins they've had on 45 points. Ikorodu City completing the top 4. Shooting Stars are out. Sunshine Stars starts the bottom 4 on 16 points, 16 position 16. After 28 games, they're on 32 points. You have Aqua United, the Nasarawa United, of course, Lobby Stars at the bottom. After 29 matches, they are on 23 points. Of course, how many losses this season? 16 losses. Another team that have lost as much game but close happens to be Sunshine Stars and Aqua United. Okay, that game, Eimba and Ikorodu City. Rotimi, yes, you were in Lagos, and that game, it's one game, and you look at how was it going to end. Eimba were just close to picking all 3 points in Lagos, but somehow these boys, I don't know what they do to themselves, but somehow they head on to at least, let's just share the spoils. You can't get everything.
I mean, they've made the Mobolaji Johnson Arena, Onikan, a fortress somewhat. Well, maybe if they get to pick the continental ticket, they won't be able to play their games there because I don't think it will fit into the match CAF standard, as it were. But then, like I said, they made it a fortress. Yeah. It's very difficult. Since Ikorodu peaked after the slow start of the season, they've made that ground more like for any visitor, you can't just come here and just bamboozle or play us because we're newcomers or something like that. So I think it's credit to a whole lot of things that all the guys running the team are doing behind the scenes, and of course what is being reflected, on the pitch as well. I didn't think, I know Imba coming was going to be a tough game, leading 2-1 up until late on into that game.
97 minutes.
But then credit to Ikorodu City, they didn't let themselves down. They didn't get their heads down early. They just felt we could get something from this game, and they managed to get a point. That point was what ensured that Eimba didn't go past them in the standings. Yeah. So as it were, they're in 4th position. Unfortunately, if the season ends today, they won't pick a continental ticket because they finished 4th. If they finish 3rd, then maybe they have a chance. But then they're just on the same number of points as Rangers, who are the defending champions. You were looking for Shooting Stars. Shooting Stars are just 2 points behind Ikorodu City and Rangers in 6th position. So it's a very close chase when it comes to who gets on the continent. Because I'm thinking 8 points between Remo and the second place team Rivers. I don't see anyone stopping Remo from winning.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that goal there. What he did, Ayomide Cole, what he did with that goal, and the celebration that happened after that. This is what it means to them. Getting a point of a team as big as Eimba. I believe if Eimba had all 3 points, they would have also climbed up a little bit. But right now they are 8th on the log. Austin, you see another game that I would also get us talking is Remo Stars and Heartland. I mean, it was just more like a routine win for Remo Stars. Heartland not really looking good for them because their position is very, very interesting. Yeah.
Pressure on Remo Stars actually in that game against Heartland because truly in football you never say never. So they knew that, look, this is 8 points now. If we don't win this game, by the way, that's a lovely finish by Adedayo Olamilekon right there. Fantastic player for Remo Stars. I think his form has been pivotal to their current, achievements in the league, and they finished that one off so well. As I was saying, they knew that, look, with the way Rivers United seem to be going with the football and the game they're playing, they cannot sleep. And Rivers United did the unthinkable, going to beat El Kanemi Warriors and giving them their first defeat since, I think, April 2023 or 2024.
Yeah, April 2023.
So it tells you that you don't blink. And that's the winning goal right there by Samson Olashupo for Remo Stars. So that did it. Heartland, unfortunately, they played a very difficult game because Remo, they were condemned to win. Imagine if this game had ended in a draw, the points would have been cut short again. If they had lost, it's almost unthinkable to imagine Remo losing in Ikenedo, but hey, it's football where Rivers United did on a ground where you don't expect them to go win. So, Cecilia, I won't come out and say it was an easy game for Remo Stars. I'll say they had to dig deep, they had to fight, and they got a look at when the second goal came. You can tell that they kept fighting, and they got it. Atlanta also had their moments, but it didn't just happen for them. So shout out to Remo Stars. But let's not blink yet, because this is just match day 29, and towards the end of the season now, a bit of complacency can step in. We don't have VAR, but our officials are humans. They can do something that will also get us asking questions, So Remo Stars just need to, keep doing what they're doing. If you don't win away, make sure you don't lose at home. And I think that's what has really helped them. They're still the team with the most away wins, I think 4. And that's why they are doing what they are doing. But let's also say shout out to Rivers United. They've pumped up the pressure, though it's coming very late, but they are giving us reasons to talk about this fight going down the wire.
Yeah, Shooting Stars is another team we want to talk about. Against Aqua United, we expected that since they haven't won in their last 6 games before they went into that game, they could be able to get a point off Aqua United, but that wasn't to be at all.
Someone was doing an analogy lately. Only the private sponsored teams are somewhat balanced now. The government-backed teams are struggling, and you can tell why, especially if you take the matters off the football field. So, and that's why all of these teams are struggling. But then again, you heard the story about lobby stars giving their players ultimatum. If you don't do this, we won't pay you well. Those things don't motivate
They're
players.
They're not playing at home.
So I'm sure you have some of these government-backed teams, threatening and doing all sorts.
It doesn't work anymore.
And it doesn't work. For Aqua United, their former chairman is now the commissioner. So at this point, it will be that's enough motivation to want to stay in the top flight. But if it doesn't happen, probably one of Dakada or the others can come into the top flight, or maybe Aqua United gets to keep their spot in the NPFL. But it's been a struggle for Shooting Stars. I can't even explain why. 7 games now, and then you're asking yourself what changed, what went wrong. But then I still feel the answers are behind the scenes and not necessarily what happens on match day. That's draws, what I feel.
4 losses.
That's what I'm saying. Before Shooting Stars, you can close your eye and say they'll win at home. But this time around, it's not happening. Something is happening, or something is not going well behind the scenes, and then that's what we're seeing after 90 minutes for every game. It could be a bad patch, but then it can be fixed. At least nobody's talking about, coach, we are giving you 3 games ultimatum, or the players and all that. So, but I still think they will do well and finish, in a healthy position. But then that sport is all about 2 teams that need to play on the continent. One in the Champions League, apart from the winners though. One in the CAF Confederations Cup. The other one is via the Cup. So I still feel that chase for third spot, or second and third, is still very tight. Very, very tight. Interestingly, the next match day, it's Rivers hosting Ikorodu City. And Remo travels to Lobby. Now, if Remo goes...
They're not going to Lobby. They are going to Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium.
That sounds... Yeah, well, they're still playing Lobby. But then...
What I mean is that...
it's a neutral ground.
It's a neutral ground there.
And that's part of the things where I said, behind the scenes, things are happening. Because the Lobby... what's it called now?
Aqua Stadium. Okay.
No. Yeah, the Lobby management hasn't really said... Oh, why can't we even play our games at home? They've not been able to fix it. This is their 3rd ground this season. They've not
finished the stadium. They need to They need to refurbish their stadium.
These things won't automatically translate to results for you. It affects everyone. You have to travel more. You have to try to adapt to new environments and all that. It's all the best.
Because I was saying, what if wherever their home ground is this season, for the remainder of the season, they should just stay there.
Well, they picked Enugu.
Having to travel back home and then come back when they're playing games or something. Are they staying there?
Well, I don't know. That's the thing. That's why I said a lot of things happen off field, and then it affects. I don't think Lobby can survive. I think it's done and dusted.
Will Aqua United survive? Just 30, 20...
why are you putting Hudson on the spot?
5 seconds. Can they survive? 5 seconds.
They have 31. They have 31 points now, Cecilia, and The two teams ahead of them is Sunshine Stars and Nasarawa, and they have 33. So if Aqua United wins their next game or try not to lose it, they look like they can survive. I think they played good football.
I think they will lose it, Austin. Don't worry. They play Quara United.
Against Shooting Stars. but yeah, I like what has happened this season.
9 games to go.
When you see the teams fighting relegation,
right?
Aside the Stars, you can tell the league was really competitive.
Yeah.
Sunshine Stars, Nasarawa United, Aqua United. It's really tough, but let's see how it goes. And for Shooting Stars, they must start winning now, because if they don't, they are 6th on the log with 43 points, and Aimba is just behind them now with about a point or two.
Mm-hmm.
So before you know what's happening, they might even drop out of the top 10 if they don't start winning.
Precisely.
So it's NPFL is competitive. Let's leave Aqua United out. Yeah.
All right, let's leave Aqua United alone. I love the fact that Benin Insurance, at least they're in top 10, so no more laughter.
Top 10 on 1 point.
Doesn't really matter. They are in top 10. Okay, let's not talk about Manchester United or some other teams right here on the show. Before we wrap up the show, let's just quickly, we talked about it earlier at the beginning of the show, how Time to Play. I mean, a groundbreaking NBA initiative. I mean, the first time in Lagos.
Why is
first time in Africa. Precisely. A groundbreaking. This is the real groundbreaking here, how Time to Play. We're not talking about the groundbreaking of the FIFA Forward 3.0 program that NFF have just embraced since 2016. So this has been all over the world, but the first time is coming to Africa, and of course, where else could it be? Lagos, Nigeria. So the girls of Vivian Fowler's school, girls from other schools across Lagos were there, for this particular program. Is International Women's Day in commemoration of the Women's Month, and that's why they are having this program. So it makes its debut in Nigeria, bringing together accomplished female leaders to inspire the next generation through a panel discussion, mentorship session, different clinics. And of course, these girls actually had unforgettable experience, building their confidence, having career insight, and of course, leadership development. You're smiling because you know what NBA Nigeria has been doing in terms of, the girl child, the boy child, of course, basketball in Nigeria.
I mean, it's quite laudable. But then let's see how this will translate to the success or the wins for Nigeria in the next few years. Nobody's rushing anyone. Yeah. No pressures anywhere. It's a good pathway. Let the children or let the students grow, do the sports, do the education so well. And if you want to go professional, I mean, these are the type of mentorship you need, to channel yourself through that right path, and then hopefully things will go out well professionally as a sports person, and then by the time you even retire, you can also do well in your careers. These are the kind of programs that will shape you and help you see the positives rather than the negatives that has been flying around the country. So well done to NBA Nigeria, well done to all the girl child that have the chance to blossom, via this program.
Yeah, Austin, we have to go. Just chipping on this. And we go.
Beautiful, beautiful, lovely, commendable sport for development initiative. This is what I'm talking about, how we can use sport to promote so much. You can use sport to empower the girl child. You can use sports to, develop education, sports for cohesion. And Cecilia, I've seen AFD do this in Nigeria. Now NBA Nigeria, MBBF. What are we doing? That's the show. In London, I'm Austin Okonakwan. In everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.
And I'm Cecilia. Rotimi Akinde, I want to thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you.
I know without signing
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine, right? We understand what it is, right? I'm Cecilia Amorogbe. Thank you so much for watching. But we're going to be leaving you with the big female leaders in Africa, in Nigeria, talking to those girls, and also, of course, the participants talking about what they've learned from the show. Good night.
I think a lot of the students are seeing how possible it is to navigate and find out what you were born to be. I think now there are role models that students can use and, to choose a career path. I think also one of the things we shared is for them to be able to get work experience, real life experiences, to see if that's actually the pathway they want to take.
I think the beautiful thing about events like this, and why I personally am so passionate about them, is that it provides a forum where there is visual representation, where these opportunities are discussed with people who have lived experience. And I think it's also a platform for them to start to build a network with people like us. And you had some amazing panelists on stage, right? So for the girl child in Nigeria, I think what we need to do is expose them to the opportunities that are available in education and not pigeonhole people too much. I think part of our curriculum also needs to be broadened so that they know what is available to them going forward in their careers. And a lot of work experience is important. I think that work experience is the biggest teacher. You can think that a specific subject or a specific path will take you to a specific kind of job, but until you actually get into it, you don't know if it's what you like or what will give you the kind of impact that you want to make.
We're going to see what the program presents. We have a grand vision for it, of what this will become. And the reality is we hope that the next time we do this, we have corporate partners that come on board to be a part of this so that we can make it bigger. It's something that ideally, we just don't want it to happen in Lagos. We want it to happen in different geopolitical zones in Nigeria. So it's going to be, we want everyone to be a part of this. So we really look forward to the next edition of this.
I learned to be a better version of myself, to do more than what an average person would do, and to be known as a doer. Like, not just know me as Rebecca, know me as a doer, as this girl that when you step on that stage, everybody knows that yes, she can do this. They don't even have to see me do it yet. They should know that I can do it. And I learned to use the best out of the best.
Someone's background does not determine where the person will be in the next few years, and if you want to be successful, you have to be focused and you have to study, and if you want to be a good basketball player, you also have to practice and do more research on how things are meant to be, and you also have to find out about other players that are successful, and you have to get some knowledge from them.
And I learned that a lot of people just keep saying they want to be great without actually putting in the work. And I learned that if I want to be great, I have to do better than average. I also learned that you don't discover what you want to be all at once. It's a process, it's a journey. As you keep growing, you find out what you want to be. I also learned that there are three major things women face, which is being a woman, being a black woman, and being African. And we have to get used to some words if we want to get to where we are. I also learned that we should have mentors and sponsors. I learned that it is not bad to fail, but what matters is what we learned while failing and not being stuck at failure.
The experience was a nice one because it's nice to have a community of women to speak about things like this. So it was a nice experience. And when the ladies came up stage to talk about their own experience and how they went through to get to where they got to, it was like nice to listen and to know that eventually when we leave our parents' house and we get there, it's not going to be easy, but like for us to prepare ourselves to get there.